Hello, guys. Good evening, and welcome to today's CB Sunday review. Trust our Sunday has been beautiful, and our weekend went well. So if you're on the call, please go ahead to drop a message in the comment section so that I know that you can hear me and let me know where you're tuning in from. Thank you very much. I can see a few of you here on YouTube. You can as well share this with your friends so that they can join the session. All right. Thank you, Chinimere. It means you can hear me. All right. Welcome. Oh, sorry, T. So thank you guys for joining the session. So I'll be sharing my screen shortly. But before I do that, I want to say big welcome to you guys once more again. And basically this is just for CV review. So what we do in Sunday CV review is that we have a look at some CVs that have been sent into here for us to review. We'll make possible corrections on this CV, tell you how to make your CV better and optimize it for the job you're applying for. So there are some key things you must know while you're optimizing your CV. Your CV is not a one fit for all jobs, depending on what you're applying for. You can have in mind that you want to apply for nothing less than, say, 2 to 3 different roles, but you have experience in these various roles. It means that your CV would have to be tailored each time to fit the roles you are applying for. And pending, you can have like 3 to 4 variation of that CV. So far you're going to be using it to apply for these different jobs. And for a time and age like ours to have changed from where we have your CV to just being type of CV where you have your date of birth, your status, your home, like your home address and all of that on it. It's time we take them off. So basically, I'm going to start off by reviewing a CV. Quick one. Please, if you can see my screen, kindly let me know so that I know that yeah, you can see my screen. Right. Okay, so from what we have on the screen, basically, we shall be reviewing this particular portfolio, right? So for this particular CV, we have some things we're just going to have a look at. Please give me a minute. I want to expand on this particular one. So what we have here at the moment is this. So this is the CV we are looking at. So first thing first, I would say is we have a lot of templates on Microsoft, that docs as well as Microsoft Words. So it's best you just pick up a template and edit it to suit what you're doing. Or if you're going to work with like creating one by yourself, it's best you optimize it. Now, some details are blurred out because we don't want them to show, and then for privacy sake. Now, for this particular CV, I think one thing here is that it has to be properly optimized. That was what we're looking at. So we're optimizing it to say, okay, here says my goal. I'm an enthusiastic, goal-driven, and impact-oriented qualified teacher with several years of experience. Now, most times, instead of having several years, you can go ahead to speculate how long you have been a teacher. If you have been a teacher with over a decade of experience, if you have been a teacher with over 5, 6, 7 years of experience, it's safe that you have it put here, because what this will do for you is that it's going to show your employee or the HR or whosoever is going through your CV that you know what you are doing. You have been in this field for a while, so at least you should be good at what you do and you have no problem blending in. So that's why I would say you should add your years of experience to this particular profile. Then I think for spacing, one thing I would also say is if you are creating a CV, please use a maximum of 2 different font types or text styles and a minimum of one. All you have to do is, if you're sticking to one particular font, you or text style, you can say I'm using um Calibri, I'm using Arial, whatever font you're using, just pick one, then you create a heavy or a light one. Most people see that as regular and normal and bold. So when we have profile here, you just see that this is bold. Then the next text is this is regular or normal. So your text size shouldn't be, it should be between 12 and 14, but not more than that. Then where you have your educational qualification, think here it just has to be properly optimized, because if you see on the first line, you have BSc Ed Biology, University of Benin. You have 2017 secondary school certificate. You now have it underneath, like Lagos State is now underneath the school. So if you're going to stick to this format, you can go ahead and use the format for both what we have above, and you either stick to the format we have above, or you use the format we have below to have this done. Then for this part, you made everything bold. So please, for your CV, always make sure it's optimized. Like everything, there's a consistency. So you can't have like this other side where everything we have bold and normal text. Then you go on to make everything bold. I know that this must have been a mistake, so you can go ahead and make the corrections. And please add spacing to your text so that it separates what you have done. Now for where we have positions where you talked about being a preschool teacher, this is okay, but I feel like you should have done more. Most times as teachers, you get to do more than just planning and development of lesson plans. You get to also handle motivation, the children's mental health, and all of that. So you can go ahead to list that. If you had to work like maybe with another teacher, it's also good you list this as part of your qualification, so that more or less you're saying okay, more or less you're saying that I've been able to work in teams. I think one thing we know as teachers is the ability to have to work in teams and to be a team player, because most times as teachers you tend not to work in isolation. You work with other teachers to make sure you achieve a common goal. So you should also have that included in your CV, where you have I did this, I did that, we worked on this. Like there should be a we and all of that, because if you're saying that you're a team player, you have to show that you're actually a team player, and this has to reflect in your work experience. So you're not just having tailored lesson plans that accommodate different levels, which is noted. You can go on to say, maybe if you had to deal with a special child and all of that, you can go on and add that here, because it requires a level of patience and all of that to do that. Then same thing here, you have to like properly give the proper spacing here, space it out so that it will be easy to read and easy for the HRO to have a look at this and know. Then instead of having just about three, your so the way it looks like now, your first job experience and your second job experience are almost similar, just a little bit of change. Now I agree that teaching job is very, it's closely related depending on the class, but at the same time there should be something that sets apart, because as the patients, you what you do as a preschool teacher is different from what you would do as a secondary school teacher or a primary school teacher, meaning that you have more experience dealing with both age groups, because at different age they have different needs. And so far so good, you have been able to do that. Then yeah, you can also space this properly, push this out and make it clear enough. And there's something you started off with okay, this is 2022 till date. All right, this is very fine. So you just have to imbibe a lot of things like monitored progress for feedback for students. You watch them grow, how they develop their soft skills, how they relate with their classmates, and all of that. Those are experiences, because there are times you had to manage a class that had students who were not so happy with themselves, or they were fighting about something and it led to a mini quarrel in the class, and you had to sort that out. So you can put that here. So while we'll have this here, you can also push this text beneath, so that it's not like a standalone and then we have to link it. You can put it here. So for your skills, you can go ahead to list them all out. So instead of having stuff like arranging it like good gaps of English grammar and how to teach the essential language, you can go ahead as writing your skills as bullet point, and then using things like team player, ability to work under pressure, patience, eloquent speaker, like that. Just look out for skills that are related for someone in a teaching profession and list them out. You can put them side by side. So that is good. And that being said, this is a good CV, but you have to just properly optimize your CV so that it suits what you have, and we are good to go. So I think that's one thing I would note about this CV, and the fact that it was not created with a template. It's beautiful. That's one thing I like about it. I think over time I've said that if you're going to have to create a CV, please do not use a design tool like Corel Draw, Figma, and the likes to create your CV. You can go to Google Docs and pick a template, or use Microsoft Word. There's always a template for CV. Just pick that up. That's where we are moving. We have moved on from the generation of date of birth, marital status, state of origin, like that from your CV. We have moved on to a place where you have to properly state, we want to information about you, and date of birth and all of that doesn't really matter. So that's for one CV. If you're on the call and you have questions, please you can go ahead and drop it on the chat. I'll pick it from the chat once I am done with the CV. I think that the first CV we are reviewing, we'll just have to review two CVs on this particular call. So for the second CV, this is more technical. Please give me a minute. I would share my screen. Okay, so I'll pick this up now to share my screen. Kindly let me know if you can see my screen. Okay, so hi guys, if you can see my screen, please let me know. And if you have any questions, you can always ask your questions. This video will be available on YouTube, so you can go back and watch the video in just in case you missed this CV. Right, I think this is a software engineer and this is what we have. Okay, so for today it feels like the University of Benin is taking the shine for our CV review session. So I think this was created from scratch. So this isn't a template. This is also good. Necessary details were blurred out so that we save some information. So for profile, you have driven software engineer, mastering software product engineering to lead innovation and impact of business. I agree this is your profile, but I think you need to say more about yourself. You might just describe who you are and what you do in one line. I am this, or I'm passionate about software engineering. I'm driven by software architecture mastery and this. I have ability to work with team, because once you're in tech and you're a software engineer, most times you tend to work with teams, which means you tend to work with different people from different aspects in the tech world. So one thing you have to do is you have to always state that clearly so that we know that you can do this, because tech is all about collaboration, and one way or the other you would have to collaborate and work in a big team. Now, okay, this is properly formatted: Bachelor of Engineering, Production Engineering, Software Engineering as well. Okay, you're running two programs side by side. Wow, that's interesting. And then for skills, now you have been able to tell us some skills you possess and you can possess more. Now you just stated, okay, front end engineering. So these are the skills you have stated, and so far so good. It's This is nice, but I feel like you have more to add to this. No, as a software engineer, after stating your skills, these are your normal skills. You can state your soft skills. Now, for soft skills, you're going to state ability to work under pressure, teamwork, deadlines, and all of that. Because as an engineer, those are skills you should possess aside from your technical skills. Because what you just listed here is technical skills, not your soft skills. So you can go ahead and list your soft skills as well so that we can match them together. Now, one thing about I like about your CV is that it's properly optimized. You knew when to use like bold font, normal font, and the spacing is quite top notch. It's clear enough to read. It's not all lumped up together, so it's easy to read. Okay, so actively participating. I enrolled in a 10-month workshop focusing on full stack actively. Okay, this is nice, but I feel you can do more. If this is 10 months from what you have here, this is October 2023, meaning you should be you should be 6 months into this program. And if you're already 6 months into this program, you should have more experience than what you stated here. At least list some of the experience you have gathered and how it has helped you so far. That's very important. So go ahead to list more job experience or learning experience that you'd have under the full stack and engineering intern team. For front end developer intent, same thing. I believe you have learned a lot from that from September that you started. This is already March, so list what you have learned. Actively participating hands-on project. Did you work with a team? Did you work alone? I feel like for all these internships, most times you get to work with teams, so be sure to state that you worked with teams and you're able to achieve this. Use the third person pronoun when you're having this being listed. I think same thing for your front end development intern. This might be short, but I believe you should have learned a lot. And yeah, so I think that is one thing that is good to go. I love your CV. This is beautiful. Well done. So yeah, I think this is all I can review today. For next week, we'll have more things to review and scan. Name. Give me a minute, please. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Authority, you said you have shared your CV. Um, Please let me know where you if you use the link to upload your CV or you sent it via DM so that I'll get to it. I think this particular session for today is for 30 minutes, but for next week we'll have 1 hour. So please, if you're connected on Discord, point it to me on Discord so that at least next week Sunday I'll be sure to pick it up and have it amongst the CVs that will be reviewed. Okay, send via WhatsApp. All right. So I would go and check it, bring it up and have that listed because most times the way we pick CVs is CVs submitted this week. So I guess yours incoming this week. That's why it wasn't reviewed today. Apologies about that. We'll have that reviewed next week Sunday, and I think yeah, that's it. So don't worry, sorry about that. We'll pick that next week Sunday out. Go through the list and have them all listed or properly this for you. So this session is for 30 minutes, like I earlier said when I started. Yeah. Authority, no problem. I'll check that and let you know. So thank guys for coming on this session. Remember to follow, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't done that. And also you can go out to check on the Better Copper platform, which is displayed on your screen. That bettercopper.com, where we have micro degree courses and crash courses. Now, the crash courses we have are just to bring you up to speed about certain skill sets you need or certain tools that you'll be needing in your everyday life. Our micro degree programs last for about 3 months plus a month for projects, where you have various courses ranging from digital marketing to product management to UI UX design, cloud engineering, DevOps engineering, and the likes. Thank you guys for joining this session. I hope you learned something new today. See you next week, Sunday. And for those CVs that are not reviewed today, I promise to look into it and make sure that we review all of them on next week, Sunday. With that said, thank you guys. Be active and participate on the Discord channel and WhatsApp group where we get to share information with you and tips to help you as you navigate your career. With that said, have a lovely evening, morning, or afternoon, wherever you are watching us from. So, thanks, guys. Have a lovely evening. Bye, everyone.